All right. So, it's been a little minute, guys. My apologies. We got quite a few things to run over, go over, whatnot. First, this is the Arrow Podcast. I am Michael Chaos. And let's jump right into this Raiders game.
Red and gold. Red and gold. Red and gold.
All right. This is the Arrow Podcast. I am Michael Chaos. Fellas, I've been having a lot going on, so that's why I kind of been MIA. Promise in January, these videos will be way more consistent. I'm trying to pump them out best of my ability, but I move officially in January. Everything will be done, set in stone, and I can consistently do these videos for you guys. But we got a lot of stuff to go over. I missed, obviously, the Eagles game. I won't get too much into that considering we took L. I will say this, you guys. Going to the Eagles game, before we get into the Raiders game, the Eagles game was very imperative to me because I wanted to see specifically what their offensive line looked like going up against our defensive line, which is somewhat pretty much the same. Just, obviously a few people got better and we have Charles Omenihu. But in the Super Bowl, if you guys remember, Jalen Hurts was sacked, I believe, 2 times, but they weren't your traditional sacks, though. They were him. He was sacked because pretty much himself. I believe that fumble also when he dropped the ball and Nick Bolton ran it in. I believe that counted as a sack. The other sack was pretty much him running out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. They weren't your traditional sacks, okay? This was way different. I thought what I seen was, guys. The Eagles' offensive line doesn't necessarily look like it did last year. It does, but it does not. And the thing is when they went up against us, we were collapsing the pocket. And in the Super Bowl, I can't even lie to you guys. That offensive line, it took a piece of my soul when I watched that offensive line in the Super Bowl. I can't even hold y'all. I knew we were going to win. Because Mahomes, but that offensive line, last year in the Super Bowl, it looked like there was no hope. Okay, for one. This game, their offensive line was getting destroyed. And their defensive line was getting destroyed by our offensive line again. Because obviously that happened in the Super Bowl. So, long story short, I'm not worried about the Eagles, bro. At first, I didn't want to play them again in the Super Bowl, right? I'm going to tell you this right now, bro. The Eagles in the Super Bowl do not want to play the Chiefs because offensively it ain't going to be the same game. I can 100% facts assure that. I can tell you, well, nobody can 100% tell anybody about the NFL, but I'm very positive that they offensively will not remotely do what they did against us in the Super Bowl if we end up playing them in the Super Bowl, which I'm telling you right now, they do not want the smoke, fam. They don't want the smoke, fam. I can assure you that. So, that was the main thing I wanted to touch bases on. That was a little while ago, so I will move on. I just wanted to kind of point that out, that their offensive line, plus we had 5 sacks, I believe 5 sacks and an interception. Obviously, we all know that was another fluke game, kind of like the Lions when Kadarius Tony dropped everything that was thrown his way. You had Travis Kelce, who seems to fumble every year in a big game against a very important opponent. Don't know what the deal is with that, but he fumbled again on like the 7-yard line, which I can assure you would have been a touchdown. The way we were moving the ball, that drive, I also knew it was kind of a wrap after he dropped that ball because of what our second halves were looking like in the last 3 games prior to that, or excuse me, 2 games prior to that game. So yeah, I kind of lost all hope when he dropped that ball, and then when MVS dropped the ball, guys, honestly, all I could say was, well, that's these receivers. Which, if you guys remember, go back in my videos, I was like, oh, I'm concerned. I'm still concerned. But going to the Raiders game, fellas, we have the emergence of Rashee Rice. That is correct. If you guys also, before the season, go back and fact check your boy. In his videos, I did say that would be the man. I also said that I thought MVS would have a big season. I did say Justin Watson would be one of our main guys. Look, guys, I'm not going to blame him in that Eagles game for those drop passes. He's coming off of a surgery. I think he's played 2 games coming off that surgery to his elbow. That's a pretty significant surgery, man. That's going to take some time. There's no excuses. He should have caught those balls. Those were easily caught balls, period. But he has a pass. Besides Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice, he was the only one doing anything. You guys know how I feel about Sky Moore. Yeah. But MVS has lost me. MVS looks lost. He just runs straight. He has no separation for for his speed. I guess he's not learned how to, season. Even though he won the Super Bowl and people are out to get you, he still looks exactly the same as he looked in Green Bay. So yeah, we're done. MVS, Sky Moore, yeah. Kadarius Toney injured again. But I like Kadarius Toney, man. He was doing his thing. He was trying to do his thing against the Eagles. He obviously didn't play against the Raiders. He's injured. McCole Hardman's obviously on IR with a thumb injury. And important news I've seen today. Apparently Justin Ross has no charges anymore. So I just seen that earlier today. Apparently Justin Ross is not being charged for anything, which means all charges are dropped, I guess. Which means shortly he should be coming off that commissioner exempt list, which means he should be hopping on the field, which means we got another weapon who hopefully doesn't drop the ball like everyone else. I think we already talked about Rashee Rice. His 107. I didn't get into detail. Yeah, 107 yards, 1 touchdown. Loving it. He had 1 drop that would have been a first down. You're gonna live and die by that. It's looking like, that's. But I will say, man, he had like 9 or 10 targets, 8 catches. So I'll take it, bro. That's a lot of targets. It's a lot of targets. That's 80%, 80+%. You know what I'm saying? Catch rate, whatever you want to call it. So, Rashee Rice is emerging. He is emerging. He had a very nice catch. It was the first time. I can't make this video an hour. I can't get into the coaching, the play calling. I'm not sure what Matt Nagy's doing, so I can't blame anybody. We all know how Andy Reid gets down. He puts his faith in somebody until, 5 games in, they drop, they muff the punt 5 times in a row, and yet he's out there for a 6th. So, yeah. So, I don't know what type of role Matt Nagy is. I'm assuming that he has to do a lot with preparation for the game. He doesn't play call. That's Andy Reid. So I do think he has a lot to do with preparation, and I'm left confused a lot of games. So I can't tell you exactly what's going on with that. I did have a theory that I told you guys about, which is I feel Andy Reid holds back a lot before the playoffs. I think he holds back way more than any other coach, possibly in history. That's what I think. That is my theory, that Andy Reid holds everything back until the playoffs. Right. So we'll see. Defense, oh my. If you're a Kansas City fan, you're witnessing the best defense ever the Chiefs have ever had. Don't care. I'm not 60 years old, so I can't tell you what went on in the 1970s, 80s, 50s, 60s, or the early 90s. But I can tell you that this is by far, in the era of Chiefs that I've seen, the best defense I've ever seen by far. And they're for real. They're the real deal. They told you that against the Eagles, which we should have won that game. Our offense pathetically stole that game from our defense. Blew it for our defense. I mean, horribly. We win that game. That's all you're hearing about the Kansas City Chiefs right now is what their defense is capable of. Which, it's coming. Because you're going to see in the playoffs. But the Raiders, now, we all knew how that was going to go. We all knew that was going to be, I wouldn't necessarily say a blowout. I knew it was going to be a blowout regardless. It's the Raiders. Come on. Raiders. Yeah. Anyways. So, but here's the thing, fellas. Here's the thing. This is the first time all season long that I felt the 2022 Kansas City Chiefs offense. This is the first time that I felt like we were watching the 2022 Kansas City Chiefs offense. And that really got my attention. The way our offense moved up and down the field, the way we operated, the way we scored, everything, man. With a little bit more running, obviously trickled in than 2022. But guys, I'm talking about when we blew out the Bears. I didn't see the 2022 Chiefs. When we blew out the Chargers, I didn't see the 2022 Chiefs, which were probably our only two good offensive games besides this one. So, obviously, we don't have to get into the other games. But, yeah, moving forward, I'm very, very interested. Now, what I'm going to be looking for against the Packers, because it's the Packers. But remember, guys, this is the NFL. Wins don't come easy. We obviously, the Lions learned that the hard way, losing to the Packers. So, can't take them lightly. But honestly, I think that's that was a very good thing for us, because now we are really, going to take them serious, which I don't think we're looking past anybody going forth. But I'm going to be looking on exactly how that offense moves against the Packers specifically. Because if I see another glimpse of the 2022 Chiefs, fellas, we're back. And I personally, I know it's just one game. I know it's the Raiders. But I do think we're back. Just from that game. I think we're back. I think our offense is back. So, we'll see. But not, guys, I can't really talk too much about the game, because who on the planet didn't think what happened, what we did to the Raiders was what was going to and supposed to happen. So, but I will say this. Our offense Looked very different. Looked different than it has this entire season. I can't even talk right now. This entire season. So I actually can't. I can't wait to watch this Packers game. Let's hope our offense doesn't go back to looking like maybe Andy Reid's like, okay, we don't want to show too much again, guys. But no, I think we're back in business. Boys are back in town. That's right. Yeah. So, anyways, that's pretty much all I got. I know I missed a lot, or didn't inform you guys about a lot. I will say, I'm very interested to see how this Justin Ross situation goes. I do think not signing somebody, considering, we're down Kadarius Toney and McCole Hardman, not signing anybody or obviously we brought up a few people from practice squad, but not signing nobody kind of points to me as, kind of points to the fact that we've been kind of monitoring the whole Justin Ross situation, and they were confident about what was going to happen, and it happened. So I'm interested to see, and I'll keep you guys updated on that one. We can use anybody right now, man. Let's get him back in the building. He didn't really do anything. The last 2 targets I believe he received, he dropped. So at this point, whatever. But, obviously you need chemistry. Obviously you need reps. So I can't blame him too much. He hasn't played in years. So can't blame him too much. Other guys, man, MVS, that's going back to Green Bay. That's what he does. So you can't expect anything else from him. It is what it is. So yeah, fellas, just another game and day handling business against the Raiders. Who came up with that? Yeah. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys. This is the Arrow Podcast. I am Michael Chaos. Don't forget, y'all, like, subscribe, comment. Guess what? More subscription, more likes, all that. More puts me in the algorithm, which would then give me no choice but to make more videos. So, you guys have a good night. I'm outros.
We're running out of time. 1-5, catch me in the end.